Welcome to Surfing the Psychic Waves. I'm your host, Christy Walsh. I'm excited to say hello to the globe. In this show, we hope to bring you new ideas to your spiritual path by letting you hear how other folks have walked their path or how they awakened. The planet, the solar system, and every being in it is waking up in some way or ascending on their spiritual path. Things are changing from a third or fourth dimensional world to something different, and we are expanding our world from duality to a world where we are back to all one, and we're interested in new ways to create peace within ourselves and with others. Ascension means different things to different folks, but there are similar stories, and more energy is available to us to raise our vibration. We've noticed we can connect with spirit faster, move energy around quicker, and the way we use words is changing. The way we interpret events is expanding, and we're asking different questions of ourselves and our world. The way we define love is getting bigger, and there are always bigger, brighter waves to surf. So grab your boards. We'll be looking at light energies, earth energies, and our own spirit energies, and using them to change our world. My guest today is George Kavassilas. George is an author, acclaimed speaker, and regular guest for many alternative radio broadcasts. George has had a multitude of interactions with interdimensional and extraterrestrial beings from many realities, both on and off-world, and the wisdom he's gained is shared in his book, Our Universal Journey. George knows he's here to assist humanity in reclaiming our sovereignty and transcending not only the earthly matrix, but also the cosmic matrix. He's a mentor for RiseMultiversity.org. So welcome, George. We have a lot to talk about.
Hi, Christy. Thank you for having me back on. It's a pleasure to be here. Always fun.
I'd love to hear what's going on for you in the surf and how you've been experiencing 2015 so far. I know 2014 was a blur for me. Seems like something's up.
It does. What I've really come to notice is that this year is the year where our outer world starts catching up with our inner world. So it's like all the work that we've been doing since that transitional period of the end of 2012 and early 2013. For me personally, that March equinox of 2013, very transitional point, and the amount of work and transformation, because this new light that's birthing inside of us in the universe is coming from that subatomic level. So we've got this incredible energy that's birthing from within that's coming to the surface slowly, and it's changing us internally. And we've been doing a lot of internal work and restructuring our internal worlds and reintegrating all these aspects of us that we've been expressing ourselves throughout the universe. So we're becoming these unified and integrated universal beings here in this world. And for me, all that inner work has been really intense since then up until the end of 2014. And now all of a sudden, really, actually I'm going to say it was around the equinox, September equinox of 2014, there seemed to have been like this shift that's taken place, and all of a sudden now we're all getting very excited and getting ready to start our new projects and just getting out there and really making this change happen. And that is why I'm talking about how it feels like our outer world is finally starting to catch up with our inner world.
Yeah, I think there's more of us on the planet that can kind of hold what we used to call, I guess, holding space for others to create. There's not so many encumberments. You can start something new.
There is. It's very exciting because we're all of a sudden we're really engaging with Mother Earth, where the dynamic of our relationship with her has gone to a new level. And, the way we are manifesting moving forward, we're bringing her into the equation a lot more and on a very conscious level and a very heartfelt level as well. So, and then we also now realise that we're in this matrix system, and for me, I'm really helping to empower people by understanding that they are in someone else's creation that we call the matrix, and we need to respect that. And so we need to learn how to work with these beings and with these people who are the rulers of that matrix and not fight against them, because you're disrespecting them, and therefore you're resenting an aspect of your own being, because we're inside of them and they are inside of us. So it gets very deep as to the type of work that I do with people. However, I'm just going to, as I go along, just throw these little tidbits out, because these are very big key elements of redesigning and restructuring ourselves and redesigning the way that we step into our creatorship and forge this new path in this world that we're here to forge, which emanates from within. So here we are birthing this new expression of life in the universe, And this is about authenticity, you know. This is about integrity. This is about honour. This is about love. So these are the real powerful qualities and characteristics that we all need to embody moving forward if we're going to step into the creators beings that we are, step into that and really get into that empowered state from within and start forging that new path in this world.
So what inspired you to start Rise Multiversity?
Well, it wasn't my soul creation. It really is Sienna Leigh's baby. It really, really, really is. And she's had help from myself and a gentleman by the name of Adrian. And it really is Sienna's creation. And we are, and there's other people, magnificent people involved in that initial birthing and creative process of Rise. Some wonderful speakers, mentors, life coaches. And it's turning into this really beautiful and powerful online community where there's a number of people presenting and sharing their knowledge and wisdom and their expertise. And, you know, in different areas, people are specialising in different areas. And we called it Rise Multiversity because it is about rising, you know, this rising from within that's happening in all of us. And we didn't want to call it university because that's very unilateral and very unidimensional. So we are multidimensional beings, and we also exist beyond this universe into this beautiful multiverse and omniverse. So it's a beautiful name, and it stands for a lot of things. It has a lot of integrity, and what we're creating is a beautiful community where people can come and enjoy webinars and participate in workshop groups, and it's an online, you could say, environment that facilitates for all that to take place. Very exciting.
Yeah, I did hear a couple of the podcasts from some of the webinars, and I just think it's amazing because so many folks have different areas of expertise, and yet it's a platform where everybody's sharing. And I don't think we've gotten to that state. You know, if I just think about the Lightworker community or the New Age movement, it's like it was very kind of separate camps for things, and I don't feel that, you know, listening to a podcast. I mean, your shows have been great on Subaru Radio, and even the book Our Journey Home really helped me to kind of get me over the edge of like 2012 and kind of what to do with all this energy, which was great. But now I want to do more, and who do I hang out with to create more? And so I'm just really glad that it exists.
Well, thanks, Christy. We really appreciate that kind of feedback. And I can tell you the people that are involved in Rise all function with great integrity. And whilst we are on our own journeys and we specialise in our own areas, there's an incredible amount of dovetailing that takes place and contributive love and contributive work, and we value add to each other's work. So it really is a very exciting environment, a very peaceful environment, a happy environment. I'm really proud to be a part of that, and I feel honoured to have been asked to be a part of that as well.
When we get back to talking about the light within, what are you noticing just within your own space of where you were, let's say in 2012 to where you are now?
Yeah, in 2012 I was really bringing into the now moment as I was moving through 2012 all the future timeline possibilities. So I was under the impression that the change was going to happen very quickly, as was a lot of people. Well, part of me was, part of me wasn't. It's a very complicated thing, but the part of me that was talking about the change happening very quickly, that's what all of us were experiencing. We started going multidimensional. We weren't really understanding how we were interpreting all the timeline events that were going to happen in the future. And because we went multidimensional, it felt like it was all going to happen very quickly because we were experiencing it all. We were getting a taste for it all of what was to come. So it was very exciting for a lot of people. However, there was some disappointment in some people. Some people were very disappointed that it didn't all happen very quickly. I'm one of those people. That there's an aspect to my ego that felt absolutely devastated, and then you just got to grin and bear it, bite the bullet, and get on with it, and say, okay, it's a longer process than what we initially thought, so let's get on with it. There's a fair few people that are still stuck in that pain, unfortunately, but they'll move on from that once they get past that. And we are all working towards the transformation of Mother Earth. So we're not here to just whinge and whine. Most of us have actually dug deep, gotten in, doing the hard work, making those changes happen, and realising the proactive approach, which I've always spoken about, realising our connection to Mother Earth, and not just the level of Mother Earth that you experience. When I talk about a connection to Mother Earth, I'm talking about her multidimensionality. That's something I want to make really, really clear here, because when we look, outside and we look at the Mother Nature as we know it, most people know her. She's so much more than this thin layer of frequency spectrum that we experience as Mother Earth. And in fact, when you do connect with her multidimensionality, she will communicate to you that this is the part of her that she's winding up. So this reality is in the process of coming to a close. And we're going to, my understanding in my journey with her is that I'm going to be going multidimensional. So for many years I was talking about the doorways and like portals that will open up. And that's actually our bodies. Our bodies are the doorways. Our bodies are the stargates for us to actually move interdimensionally on Mother Earth and birth this new universal expression. So that's what I'm interested in doing. That's where my life path is taking me. I'm not interested in the New Age ascension model. I'm not interested in that. I was at one stage when I was in that paradigm, but I've now transcended that paradigm. So now I've gone back to my natural and organic spiritual journey in this universe, and I'm interested in achieving completion of my journey through this grand cosmic arena and birthing this new expression of life, which is a unified expression of all that I have seen, all I have done, and all I have been. So therefore, this new expression of light that's birthing within me is my universal expression in one space-time location, which is a beautiful thing. And that's what Mother Earth is doing too. She's actually birthing the entire, because this is a fractal of the universe. Okay, this planet, it's if you understand the fractal nature of this reality, the whole universe is being expressed here on this one planet. It's a very unique thing that's going on here. And so as we do it, she does it. And as she does it, we do it. And we're kind of waiting for her to do it, and she's waiting for us to do it. And then when she does it, we will do it. And when we do it, she will do it. So we've got to really understand the symbiotic nature of the process and learn how to connect with her in her multidimensionality and get past the spiritual doctrine that has been disseminated into the human psyche by certain interest groups, and I'm talking cosmic interest groups with their agendas that want to push their spiritual doctrine and their ideals onto the human race.
Yeah, I'm still finding those pockets of like, oh my God, I can't believe I believe that. And I still believed it up until the second. It's just, there's just a lot of it. But at the same time, there's a lot of light within us. There's a lot of human or earthling part of our nature that I don't think we've ever really kind of grasped until now. I thought I was a big being, but I didn't really get it.
The magnitude, Christy, of who and what we are is so much greater than we are being led to believe, than what we are being informed of. I mean, all these ET groups that are coming here, why aren't they telling us that we are universal embryos? Why aren't they telling us that we are walking universes? Why aren't they telling us that we are birthing into universal beings? Why aren't they explaining about the fractal process, this compression that we have been in? Why aren't they explaining the density of this reality? Why do they continue to propagate the idea that we're some sort of really lowly, backward race that we need mentoring, whereas the truth of the matter is we are the ancients of the universe. We have co-created this reality along with the creator of the universe. We've entered into the process, and we are the ones that are forging a new path in this universe. We are the way showers. But that is not what's being shared out there. What's being shared out there is more that we need their help, their mentoring. They're going to come with all these solutions and technologies to save us from us destroying ourselves, whereas the reality is there's factions within the greater cosmic empire that they belong to that are actually creating the disharmony and all the war and all the destruction on this planet. If they were just to be pulled out of the equation and we would be left back into our natural state of what it means to be human, we are naturally humane beings. This is our natural state. And when people make commentary about, oh, you humans, you kill each other, you do this, that is not our natural state. That is a distortion that's being imposed on us. So I just want to get that absolutely clear for the people that are listening, because there's a very real agenda going on here to diminish the human race, whereas the true magnitude of who and what we are is much, much greater than that.
Yeah, I still struggle with those thoughts, like, wow, how did that thought get there? Oh my gosh, I actually think that thought.
Well, it wasn't your thought.
I believe that because it wasn't my thought.
It wasn't, and it's thoughts, you don't want to be having it, so therefore why are you having it? And that gets into a bit of, the issue of how things are actually structured, how the forces of limitation have structured all these control measures. And, I don't know how far you want to get into it, but it's a very big deal. And we could talk for hours and hours and hours on that subject. But what would that, do? It brings a level of awareness. Sure, we begin to understand the way we're being controlled, manipulated, the way the human psyche is being apprehended. But at the same time, we don't just want to get caught in that paradigm. It's very important that we begin to understand the power and the strength that is birthing inside of us, and that we truly are creators, and we are the ancients, and we have this wisdom on a universal scale that is now residing within, that is now becoming accessible, that we didn't have access to before. And once we start going inside of ourselves beyond all doctrine, which means beyond the chakras, beyond the kundalini pineal, which is just mind enlightenment, when you go into being enlightenment, right? And for people who are just really disturbed by what I just said, because you're into the chakras, kundalini pineal, go read my book. It explains everything. And
it does, and it's very helpful, because you run across these beliefs and you're like, oh my gosh, I just told myself a story and I don't know where the story came from. It's amazing. Just recently I woke up with the realization that I've had a relationship with the earth that I wasn't really aware of.
Such a
what am I going to do? Now what am I going to do with that? Oh my God, I had this friend sitting here this whole time, and wow.
And that's the beauty of it. When you connect with her, you just this is how I know you've got the real thing happening, because now I've got this friend with me. That was languaging. It is.
Yeah.
And that's what she would dearly love, is for people just to not have this, we've got this reverence for her, we've got this immense gratitude for the depth of her sacrifice that she has embodied through this era and epoch of time. But she truly just is just really yearning for us just to be friends again. Just that on that peer level where we see each other as equals and we're friends, and we start working together to really create this new reality that's itching, universally speaking, to be birthed in this space-time location.
So amazing. I mean, I didn't think I would get to this part of my life where you wake up and you're like, wow, now what am I going to create today? I thought I was kind of doing it back in the 90s, but no. It's really different now. And I guess, I do know people who are still kind of working through their 2012 sort of letdown, of wanting things to change overnight, and who doesn't want that? But at the same time, it's like you kind of want all your friends to come with you. Or
we would like our friends to come with us, but the reality is everyone's on their own journey. So not everybody's going to achieve this state of completion. That's a fact. It's an unfortunate fact of reality. However, when we go into that place of unconditional love, then we actually begin to honour everybody's journey. We truly do.
Yeah.
And then it's okay. You go, I said it to my son just 3 nights ago. We were standing there under the stars, and I just turned to him and I said, we're looking at all the stars, and I said, I'm really done with this cosmic arena. I'm just so done with it. I'm in the process of achieving my completion of my journey through it, and I'm gonna exit it now. And I said, but you go where you need to go. If you feel like you need to go back in and continue your journey, you do that. You do that, because that's your soul journey, and I want you to know that I love you regardless of whatever path it is you choose. I said to him, I would like for you to go where I'm going, but the reality is, I've got to go into that place of unconditional love and just love you for wherever it is you want to go and whatever it is you want to do and whatever it is you want to be. And he so appreciated that.
Yeah, it's like he gets to that expansive state. Now he can do anything. He can choose anything, and he can change his mind.
Exactly.
And choose again. So it's like of course you would want that for everyone around you.
Well, when you truly love someone, don't you wish them to be free in life,
Yeah.
So when we start really asking that of ourselves, we really need to take stock of ourselves and just see how we impose all these expectations and rules and regulations in all sorts of ways, shapes and forms upon others around us. So it's really important that we do exercise that freedom and that sovereignty in others once we achieve it within us. See, I'm achieving it internally within my own being. Therefore, now I can actually truly start to see it in others and also implement that within others in my life around me.
Yeah. It's always so great to talk to you. Okay, so I have another weird, controversial subject.
Sure.
I think it's weird now. I didn't used to think it was weird. So, time. What do you think about time?
Time's awesome. I love time. The biggest war that's raging, besides the war for the control of the spirit of humanity, is the time wars. Because of our fractal nature, we're connected to every single reality in the universe here. Therefore, the timelines that are involved with this reality connect to every reality. And time is one of the unifying fields of life in the universe. And the reason why is because, what is the definition of time? Some people say time is an illusion, it does not exist. Well, the 60 seconds, in the minute and the 60 minutes to the hour and the 24 hours to the day, and that time construct, which is being created by somebody, Pope Gregory had a big role to play in that in the, I think it was the 1500s. Yeah. Then what we've got is an artificial time construct that we have all been assimilated into. Now, you can say on one level it's an illusion, but it does exist because we participate in it regularly. I mean, you and I coordinated a time code sequence within that time construct, so we can meet up today and have this conversation. So we're using it, we're in it, we're engaging in it, we're living in it, we're participating in it. So it's a real thing, even though it's not organic, it's a synthetic construct. So the natural order of life, what is time in the natural order by definition? Time is basically the duration of a creation. In other words, the life cycle of a manifested reality, where a reality has a beginning and an end. That is a life cycle. And the journey of that life cycle from its beginning through to its end, that is a life cycle. So that is a time sequence. So everything is interconnected because you've got cycles within cycles. It is just absolutely amazing how time is one of the unifying fields that interconnects every single manifestation in this galaxy, in this universe. So there are races that have learnt how to use time as a freeway system, as a highway system. So they travel through time, and it also opens up realities exponentially, because you can go to Mars, for example, now with an exploration group, and you will see Mars how it is today. And you will get a certain amount of minerals and resources you'll have access to, a bit of flora and fauna. all the races that live inside of Mars. There's about 3 or 4 main different races that live inside of Mars, underground at the moment. There are some above ground structures, but NASA ain't going to show those ones to you, and and they won't show you the bodies of water that exist on Mars either. So so all of that is going on Mars. But if you approach Mars through time, then you have now access to all the life, all the flora, all the fauna of all the different epochs and eras of time that Mars has ever had in its past, and somewhat into all the probable future timelines too. So all of a sudden your availability of resources opens up exponentially, because you've got several billion years of an existence of a planetary reality, and think of all the different ecosystems, all the different civilizations that have come and gone and risen and fallen, and expressions of life and technologies, and so all of a sudden time is one of the most valuable resources that could possibly exist. And because I've been saying for years and years about our fractal nature, and therefore our genetics are the number one commodity for trade, the reason why our genetics is because with our fractal nature and our genetics, it also gives these beings access to time through our genetics. So it's a double whammy on the actual value of who and what we are. That's why there's so many different races, abductions going on, genetic blending, hybrid races being created, because they all want the shortcuts. They all want the resources, but we're the ones that have the strength and the courage to come inside the process and actually live it through. So just getting back to, that true sense of the power of who and what we are. But going back to time, the timing of everything, the way we move through a reality, the way we navigate our way through this reality, and the way time is one of the key variables in all of it, because, a lot of people will call that synchronicity, when you become consciously aware of the timing variable in your life path. So we call that synchronicity, and that's a beautiful thing. And when you become aware of manufactured synchronicities, because that can happen too, it does happen, and natural synchronicities, when you get more in tune and you can discern between the natural order of timing and the artificial order of timing, then all of a sudden, wow, you're in this groove of life. You're now calibrating yourself with what we call flow, and you start flowing through life in a beautiful, continuous flowing river of this explosion of synchronistic moments. It just becomes a joy to exist in this world.
That's so beautifully said. Because I noticed something was different, like my thinking was evolving somehow, but I'm glad I asked that question.
It is. Your thinking is different, because now all of a sudden you're becoming consciously aware of the time variable in your life, and it is just such a critical key element in the way we exist in this world, in the things that we choose to get involved in, because this reality is talking to us all the time. But out of that talk, out of that information exchange of energies and feelings and sounds and insects landing on your nose, and all sorts of things, people knocking on your door, birds flying past your windscreen as you're driving along, all these things, a gust of wind slapping you in the face that comes out of nowhere. All these things that continually happen is this continuous exchange of information, of relationship, of beautiful dynamics of our relationship with this reality. So when we become consciously aware on that level, it really becomes important in our ability to navigate our way through the matrix, because then you pick and choose what information you choose to take on board and what information you say, that's not necessary for me in my life right now. And there you become more efficient in the way you move through your timeline.
Yeah, definitely. And my words are changing. I mean, the word definitely, I don't really know what that means anymore. I should just say, you know what? I agree. I think I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what are your couple favorite words right now? Like ascension, not so much?
No, I've replaced ascension with completion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not into the ascension model anymore. That's all part of recycling people back into the cosmic arena. And
yeah, I kind of want to jump out of that wheel.
I'm done with that. Yeah, no, I'm not going to fall for that one. You know, we've done that before. I've gone through all those paradigms of the false light realities, had all those wonderful experiences there. No, I'm into completion, and I'm into going back home, and that's why my business is called Our Journey Home, because that's what my business is all about. This is all about our journey home. We want to go home, and it's reintegration. You know, it's going full circle in this universe and reintegrating with our soul. This is soul expression. We're going home to our souls. And my definition of soul, by the way, is quite different to most people. So people would have to look into that if they want to understand what I mean by that. Because for me, soul is beyond consciousness. It's beyond spirit. It's the grandest aspect of us in this universe, and it's a part of us that is one with the Creator. So I have a different take on what soul is.
I agree with that.
And we exist beyond all of that. We exist beyond soul.
Yeah.
We exist beyond the Creator. We are truly infinite beings. So, you know, the big controversial part of my work is who and what is God, and I totally reveal and expose all of that, which is it's the biggest part of discernment that anybody could understand in their life, for sure, without question. There is nothing greater than understanding how to discern who and what God is, and what role that entity plays in our lives. Unbelievable to know the truth about that.
Yeah, it is. So, George, where can folks find you? You also do private sessions, too.
Well, yeah, I do. I love the private sessions. They're so much fun, having incredible success, and a lot of joy. And you know, I just want to quickly, I've got these awesome events coming up. South American tour coming up August, September. Look on the website for that. All the information will be available on ourjourneyhome.com.au. Just that little splash of gold on the end there, because we're in Australia. So, and really you can access the book from there, podcasts, everything. It's just one website that, and a new website is about to be launched. So I don't know by the time this gets to air if the new website will be up, but it'll be very soon after if it doesn't, only weeks away. So very excited about that.
And the South America journey, is it what kind of journey is it?
Okay, so I'm doing an all-day event in San Miguel in Mexico on a Wednesday. Then on the Friday starts a 3-day weekend workshop. Then after we finish that, we rest on the Monday. Then on Tuesday, we take a tour group to Palenque. So this is going to be, and other sacred sites down there. So very, very exciting. Then after that, I'm going to fly to Ecuador a few days later.
Oh, my favorite.
And then in Ecuador, I'm going to do an event in Vilcabamba. Very excited about doing that. And then we're going to take a tour group after that weekend workshop, another 3-day weekend workshop, through into Peru and maybe Bolivia. We're still working out the finalisation of the tour, but it's just going to be fantastic. Machu Picchu and all sorts of places. We've connected with a beautiful lady shaman there who's going to even show us sites that, you know, the public don't get access to. So very, very excited about that. Yeah.
That's great. There's such beautiful energy in
Yeah.
Mexico and South America, really. So that's great.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for surfing the psychic waves.
Oh, Christy, it's been a pleasure, and yeah, it's always fun speaking with you. I really, really enjoy it, and thank you very much for inviting me back on. It really is great.
Yeah, and for you folks out there listening, this might have been a 30-minute interview, but it might seem like 3 hours. Or not. It might seem like 10 minutes. So that's happening, too. So thank you so much for joining us.